The perfect wine needs just a little bit of stress, not too much rain, and not too much drought. But extreme weather is making it harder to get things just right. Meteorologist Elisa Raffa headed to a vineyard to learn how heavier rain impacted this year's harvest. Elisa?
It was such a fun, gorgeous assignment to go to those vineyards and just really learn how temperature and rain really impact our grapes. This is a graph that shows you how temperature impacts some of those grape varietals. Something like Pinot Grigio needs some cooler temperatures, but as you get towards some of your heavier reds like Merlot, that's where you need some warmer temperatures. But notice how there's very little difference in between here, right? So if you change those temperatures just a little bit on either end, especially as we get more of that extreme heat, that could really impact your wine. So heat, a big factor when it comes to those grapes. For us in the Carolinas, rain becomes a big issue. Out in the West, where you have those wildfires, the smoke can really get into those grapes and ruin those wines. But again, right here at home, it's rain that's impacting our vineyards, because in the Piedmont, you are finding more intense rainfall. This is a look at hourly rainfall rates that are just continuing to get higher. You get more of these downpours and deluge days. In the Piedmont, you actually wind up adding 2 more calendar days with downpours of 1 inch or more, right? So we just keep getting these days where you get huge rain totals of 1, 2, 3, maybe even up to 4 inches of rain, and then you get some of those drier spells. But when you get those huge deluge days, it really impacts them in the vineyards. Here's Chris Nelson. He is a winemaker at Raffaldini Vineyards.
We grow a perennial crop. Like, we don't get to reseed every year. We don't let things go fallow. I mean, we're looking for our vines to last for 30, 40, 50 years. In order to achieve that, we have to address the truth of what's coming.
He was so hopeful. He was like, we are on top of this. The grape industry knows what's happening, and they're really on top of trying to combat it.
Right. So on that note, what are they trying to do to address these climate issues?
So what Nelson is doing is he's actually taking out grapes from the vineyard and replacing them with grapes that are better at handling that heavy rain. With a thicker skin, it can handle that moisture better. If the skin is too thin, then that's when you're going to get more of that moisture seeped in. You get more mold and fungus and things you don't want on your wine grapes. Yeah, so he's switching out for a grape with thicker skin that's better at handling the heavy rain. They also do more of an intense drying process. It's a traditional Italian process called appassimento, and that will dry out the grapes more, because did you want a watered down wine, Annie?
Absolutely not.
No, so you want to take all that water weight out if you're getting too much heavy rain, so you can get a bolder, more flavorful, more tasteful wine.
And I was going to say, even with making those changes, as all the winemakers or wine enthusiasts know, it's about the taste of it. So how do they taste?
I got to taste some of I was like literally the first ones to taste what the 2022 wines taste like. Real good.
All right, we're just going to have to go try them out for ourselves. It's such a long and interesting process, and doing that responsibly is important. So, Meteorologist Elisa Raffa, thanks so much.